Hey there, online students. This is Dr. Greer. Welcome to the 7th week of classes. I hope you're having a great Monday and that you are really feeling blessed by the Lord at this point in time. It's been a busy time for me. Tomorrow I start teaching at the seminary here. If you're interested in seeing it, it's at the website flte.fr. It's the Faculté Libre de Théologie Évangélique in Vaux-sur-Seine, France. And I've had a lot of preparation to do. It's one of those things that when you commit to do it, you're not quite sure exactly how much work it's going to take. But when you get into it, you realize, wow, there's a lot of stuff to do, primarily because of the French language. I'll be teaching in French, and so I'm having to take things that I would do extemporaneously or from rough notes in the States and write it out in a lecture format and then translate it because it'd be more difficult for me to do something extemporaneously here. But at any rate, everything's going pretty well, but it's been kind of busy trying to get all that together. So I would appreciate your prayers as I start that class tomorrow. Now, as far as what we've got going on this week, I'm going to be fairly quick and straightforward. It's all fairly easy to comprehend, so let me go ahead and get started. For NT 103, we're now working on the study guides as we've been doing. We've been translating scripture. We've been working through the study guides to learn syntax, so no surprises there. I have completed all the grading on the TC work, and I want to encourage you to go back and revise that. The reason being is in NT 104, you will use that particular summary that you wrote up as part of your first exegetical paper. So it needs to take into account my comments and any changes that you need to make. In NT 104, we are now working on the commentary. And to me, the commentary is exciting because that's when we begin to really dig into what you might call the synthesis, the explanation. It's kind of where the meat of what we want to accomplish is located. And so you'll see we've got some videos on the commentary, etc. Let me note a couple of things I'd like for you to be aware of. First is that all 6 commentaries from the syllabus have to be used to do this work. In other words, it is somewhat of a research project. You need to read the commentaries, use them to help you understand arguments, to get evidence, etc., like you did for validation in the work you did a few weeks ago. And remember that the commentary is not meant to be exhaustive. It's meant to be comprehensive. In other words, it needs to touch on everything that you would need to explain for your reader to get a full understanding of the passage. It doesn't need to cover every detail to the same depth, but it does need to reference major problems of interpretation that you see come up in the commentaries. So think that through in terms of what you're going to include and what you're going to exclude. On average, you're going to write about 1 page per verse at this level. So that means, of course, some things are going to be very big picture. Some things are going to be very synthetic, but then you do have some space to dive into details that we've covered in the course. Now, in NT 113, what we're currently working on is historical criticism and 7 areas of discussion. Now, to me, this is an important area of study because it really digs into why we have the discussions that we do about the New Testament at this point in time. Once you know these areas well, you will begin to understand why certain things come up, why certain books get written, why there's always this skeptical take that follows a certain predetermined path almost regarding the New Testament. And so this is important to give you a little bit of that backdrop. Now, at the end of this module, we do have a discussion question as we do normally, so get working on that sooner rather than later. That would be helpful for you and your classmates. But otherwise, I think this is just going to be a good module for you to kind of get the stage set for why we talk about the New Testament the way that we do. Of course, you can get in touch with me as needed about any of our classes. Don't hesitate to do so. I'd be happy to interact with you as needed, and I look forward to working with you online this week. I will be praying for you, and I pray God really blesses you this week. Take care and have a great one.